was.
Yeah.
You gotta tell me rolling or something. So the weather has cooled down a little bit, and it is time, although it's still hot, honestly, but it is time for me to replace this back section of my fence. A few months ago, I think it was back in the spring, I replaced this whole section of my fence. Don't mind my overgrown garden behind me. That needs to get ripped out too. But yeah, I replaced this section, and then a couple weeks ago, I realized I had a little bit of extra material sitting around, so I replaced this little corner section here. But this whole back side of my fence that butts up between me and my neighbor's house is in really rough shape. We share this fence, so half the pickets are on his side, half the pickets are on my side. But I told him, hey man, let's just split the materials and I'll take care of the labor, and let's get this thing done. There's areas along the bottom that got chewed up, not only just from the weed whacker and stuff, but his dogs like to come and kind of try to get at my dogs, and they'll paw and claw under it. They'll punch through some pickets, so some of them have been replaced. But it's time for us to really do it. It was installed bad to begin with. They only put 2 stringers, one on the top, one on the bottom. I want to put one in the middle because that's really going to add some rigidity to these pickets and keep them from coming off so easily. Also, every nail on every one of these pickets was overdriven, so we're going to use some really good aluminum screw shank nails, and we are not going to overdrive the nails, so that hopefully it'll stay in good shape for a real long time. Now, I thought about putting a rot board along the bottom, which would be really nice, but it added a lot of work, it added a lot of expense, and honestly, it's just not something I want to go for right now. But I have a solution to that I might implement down the line. But right now, we just got to start taking these pickets down and get them replaced. So I'm going to get after it. Let's go. Now, before I start doing anything, I want to stabilize this a little bit. It's in good shape structurally, but it's not mounted very good at all. And so I'm going to take some little angle brackets that I have here, and I'm going to drill them in. This way, this will give it some rigidity that it really needs to last for a long time. So let's get that done here. I got some, I think it's 2.5-inch long deck screws. I'm just going to send in. Oh, it helps if you got the right bit. I'll be back. All right, I got the right bit, but instead of the short bit that I was looking for, I had to get this long extension because it's the only one I could find I could put a bit in, but whatever. Extra long, but it'll work. All right, where was I? Okay, good. To the other side. And the unfortunate part is we're going to have to get a shovel and excavate a little bit, because I don't know if they cut them to fit them in originally or what has happened, but these are too tall. And I don't feel the need to cut them. They just need to go down a little bit, but I'm going to excavate a little bit. Let me get a shovel. That looks a lot better. Still a little high. See if I can kind of, yeah, that'll do. Do the level, plumb, I should say. Yep, that'll work. Okay, see, I'm going to eyeball this first one, but then I'm going to set up a string line. I think that'll work. I'm going to go ahead and nail it in. especially concerned about getting it very well fastened towards the bottom, because that's where we seem to have a whole lot of trouble. So anyway, now that I got that one done, I'm going to set up a string level, and that way we know exactly what height to put them all at, and we can get them approximately where they need to be without having to measure or do too much. I do this one section at a time just to kind of keep things straight. So anyway, let's get going. Digging wasn't working out after all. It's like the ground was getting higher and higher, and I kept having to dig lower. So I've resorted to cutting these pickets down to size. It's probably the move I should have made from the beginning. And there's going to be tons of people on here that tell me, you should have done this and you should have done that, but that's the internet for you. Whenever I did this the last time, that I was putting the fence pickets too close together, that I wasn't allowing for wind movement. But they shrink considerably. And so as you can see on the old fence, when you put them really close together, they shrink up, and next thing you know, you've got like a 1/4 inch gap. So that's the reason why you do this with this cedar fencing. It's going to shrink and it's going to cause that gap, and there's no reason to leave a gap, or you're just going to end up with a bigger one, more than you want. All right, I've made some progress. I'm far from done, but pretty happy with what I've got so far. It's looking good, but it's time to take a breather. Check out what we've done so far, though. That was what I already did. So I did these 3 sections. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more to go. Honestly, getting started is the hardest part. So being able to have already gotten started, this should go a lot faster. Today's video is brought to you by our great friends at Sashco. Sashco makes some of the best premium sealants money can buy. Whether we're talking about a tub and tile caulk like Clean Seal, which has an active enzyme in it that eats mold, or if you get cracks in your concrete, Slab. Or you've got Moreflex, which stretches like rubber but looks like mortar. Then, of course, you have their flagship product, Big Stretch, which won't crack, only stretches. Then, of course, you've got some of the other products that they have, which are all awesome, like Lexel or Exact Color, which you can match to any kind of paint. Every product that you get that has a Sashco name on it, you can guarantee is going to be top quality. In fact, Sashco is so confident in their product that they're willing to give you a free sample pack. If you're a pro, take a look in the caption, fill out that form so that you can get your own free sample pack of full-size product. And it's also worth a mention that every one of Sashco's cartridges are filled with a full 10.5 ounces of product. In a world where everything seems to be smaller and we're paying more, you are getting everything that you paid for inside these Sashco tubes. Thank you, Sashco, for being such a great partner, and thank you for putting out these great sealants. I mean, we got a lot done. I mean, we're not done, okay? But we got to here, so we did all of that. I've got 1, 2, 3 more sections of fence to do, and then I got to put some stringers along the middle in a couple of areas too, and then we'll be done. So it won't take too much tomorrow. I'm proud of the work that we got done today. We actually got all the way to here, and we were on that side because these pickets are on that side of the fence, and then we ended up being locked in their backyard because the gate has a lock on it. We couldn't get out, so we had to bust through this section. We took about 3 or 4 pickets off of this section just so we could get back in our backyard. And so, but anyway, I just kind of mended this fence right now because we didn't have time to put up any additional pickets or anything or try to complete this section because we got to get to the dump. We got all the scrap loaded up and it's time to take it all to the dump. So we're gonna get that taken care of. I wish we could have gotten it all in here today, but we will take this load and then I guess we'll have to take the next load next week, but let's get this out of here. So we are headed to the dump. We are trying to make it there by 5 o'clock. It's 4:34. It's not very far, so we don't have far to go, but we do have a load of lumber in the back that I don't want to drop, so I can't drive very fast. Hopefully we make it in time, and because I don't know what I'm gonna do with all this lumber if we don't. All right, what do you think? You think we're gonna make it, Sam?
Yes.
All right, I like your positivity. Pulled up to the dump here. Hours on the sign say they're open till 4:30, but the website says 5. We're here at 4:51, and so obviously we got a problem, and we're trying to figure out a way to solve it. So out of every option available, none of them are good. Everything is closed to drop off any of this material until Monday. And Monday, the earliest we can get here, at least according to their sign, is 8:30. I have a job I have to be at Monday at 9 o'clock. I'm just going to be late to it. That's the only thing that makes any sense, because I'm not unloading this stuff and then put it back in my truck at another date. It's just not happening. I'll leave it in there, drop it off on Monday, run back home, get my ladders. Hopefully I don't got to go too far for my first job, and maybe I can make up some time during the day. But it's the only real option we got, so we're going to roll with it. I'm not saying I would feel great afterwards, but I think I could eat at least 6 cupcakes.
I could eat.
I'm not going to.
I would do 3 in 3 days.
3 cupcakes in 3 days?
Yeah.
I could probably eat 3 cupcakes in 3 minutes. You want to go to Swig?
Yeah.
Let's go get a drink. All right, so yeah, still got a truck load here of lumber that I got to drop off the dump. Terribly disappointing, but the only good part about it is we can now load up everything and take it all at once, so I won't have to make another trip. And so that's good, I guess. Like I said, I'll be a little bit late Monday morning probably, but we'll get rid of this stuff and that'll be okay. But anyway, that's all for now. We'll have to finish this up tomorrow. All right, day 2. We're going to start getting the rest of this fence knocked out. These two are going to do the demo here. They're getting their demo started. Wave at the camera or something. Okay, they're going to get their demo started, and I am going to start cutting some stringers to go in the middle of all these. I did about half of them yesterday, but we're going to knock the rest of those out today. So let's get started. This video was not brought to you by Liquid Death. Hey, why is that? Why is this video not brought to us by Liquid Death? If you're watching, think about it. Since I'm doing this myself, I can do it what I feel like is the right way. And when I come to these posts, before you could kind of see them, but you can see I got this little sliver of post here. I mean, our fence, you know, you can't see through it, so you could leave it like this and walk away, but I see this little sliver of post here and I don't like that. And so what I've done to eliminate that is I mounted a little piece of 2x4 down here, and that is going to allow me to mount another picket right here and just fully close that gap and give us even a little more privacy there where the fences overlap. Getting really close to finishing up here. I got like, it looks like 2 sections, but it's really more like 1.5 because they're small sections. Got this little section right here that I have to put pickets on his side, and then this final section over here that I got to put pickets on my side. And so it won't take but a little while to get finished up. I'm looking forward to that. But here's something funny that I just noticed. This is the end of my neighbor's fence. So these pickets here that I got to replace, they're actually in his backyard. I haven't spoken to him about this. And so here in a few minutes, I'm going to bust those out, and I guess I'll be in his backyard for a few minutes getting it knocked out. I didn't ask her anything, and so I'm just going to try to move quick and get it done because it's got to get done, and I don't want to stop to go ask her anything. I spoke to him yesterday, but I don't think either one of us really realized that we shared fence at all. But anyway, I don't know, weird lot lines, I guess, or just weird fence lines. We got to get done. Let's get started. Pasload nailer is just so easy to use. It's so easy to load. I mean, yeah, this is a lot of work, but I mean, I can't imagine doing this kind of work without it. Fantastic. And I have to lug around a air compressor and a hose and everything. I mean, this battery powered, gas powered, very powerful. Man, it really does the job. I love it. All right, I got all the way down to the end. This is too much space for one picket. And so I'm gonna have to rip one down. And so I'm gonna go grab another picket and then a tape measure and see what I gotta do to rip one down. All right. Here's the moment of truth. Let's see if I actually cut these to the right width to be able to put them in here. Put this little one in first, all the way up against here. Then let's see. It fits up top. A little tight at the bottom. I'd rather it be tight than loose. Let's see if we can't make it work. Oh yeah, we're gonna make that work. That should work no problem. A little convincing, but it'll work. I decided it'd probably be rude for me to start tearing down pickets in this guy's backyard without ever talking to him. So I went over there and knocked on the door, but nobody was home, so I have to go for it anyway. Anyway, by the time he gets home, he's going to have this very small portion of his fence replaced, hopefully. But I got to get after it. I got a few nails to rip out, and then I've got to start putting up these boards. So this is the last stretch, and then I might put up some lights in a minute, so stay tuned. We're trying out these solar fence lights made by Bradica. They've got 2 color settings. They're supposed to take about 4 to 6 hours to charge and last about 10 hours on a full charge. They're super easy to install. It's about $50 for an 8-pack. I'll put a link in the caption so you can pick some up from Amazon.